So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how you can set up class tracking so that way you can track two different companies within the same system. So first you're going to want to go to Company and Settings. And then once you're in the settings, you're going to click on Accounting and then Settings again. Now on the settings page, you're going to choose to turn on class tracking. Once it's enabled, you have two other options. You can choose to track class at line item level. This means that when you create a transaction, you would be able to choose a different class per item you're choosing on that transaction. If you want it just to be for the overall transaction, such as the overall invoice or the bill, then you could just turn on class tracking and you'll be able to choose just one class and it'll account for all the line items. You also have the option to require class tracking. With required class tracking, this is going to make sure that all transactions entered into your system will have a class. You won't be able to save the transaction unless you enter the class. This will make sure that all your financials will remain accurate, so that way everything is split up between the two companies you're tracking in here. So once you have this configured, you're going to click Save. And then what you're going to do is, in the same settings you're in, under Accounting, you're going to go to Classes. Now this is where you're going to add the company's name, the classes that you want to track them with. So click Add Class, and we're going to add Company A. And notice you can restrict access, so that way if you have certain groups of people in your company who should only be seeing this company's financials, you can add them here and vice versa and everything. This will be applicable for the financial reports like the P&L by class and the balance sheet by class. So it's really important to also take into account the overall user permissions as well. And then let's go ahead and add the other company and click Save. So now that we have our two classes set up and we have our settings set up, we're going to go ahead and create an invoice. So if I go to the plus sign up here, go down to Invoice, choose our customer, and notice down at the line items you have an option for Select Default Class. So if I go ahead, let's choose our items and make sure everything else is filled out accordingly. Now, I would have to choose a class since I required it. So if I try and save this, it's going to say default class is required. So I am going to have to choose which company this transaction is associated with. And then I can save. So now I can see that this is for $165. So for example, if I go to the reports and I go to P&L by class or the balance sheet by class, I can see that $165 is in Company A. And right here in Accounts Receivable, under Company A. So this will allow you to track your financials per company accordingly. This will be the same for all transactions. So if you go to create a bill, for example, you will have to choose the class, as well as transactions such as banking transactions, checks, credit cards, journal entries. So requiring it is going to track it for all your transactions, not just your invoices and bills. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to a Striven support specialist. Thank you.